Town TV.
Town TV?
This is Town TV.
It's brilliant.
We're from Town TV, and I just want you to say one thing. I want you to look down that lens at Tony the cameraman. Just look down the lens of that camera and say, this is Town TV, and it's brilliant. Right. Town TV. Town TV. What?
Come on then, right. 1, 2, 3. This is Town TV, and it's brilliant.
Town TV, what a jolly good show!
I know. Shut your letters, man.
Test, and what better place to talk to John Kirkpatrick, who put the music together and composed some for the tapestries that's now in the Test Valley Borough Council offices. So, John, how did it come that you were asked to get these songs together?
Well, I was asked initially by Roger Watson, who runs a folk music project in South Hill Park called TAPS, T-A-P-S, Traditional Arts Project. And he was talking to the Chief Executive of the Borough Council and Christine Rawnsley, who was the arts officer at the time, and they concocted the idea of commissioning a piece of music to celebrate the unveiling of these tapestries, which was in May last year, 92. And so they approached me, because I don't live in this area, I live in Shropshire, but I've been active in the folk music world for most of my life, and I'd worked with Roger Watson a bit, and he knew what I did. And I've done some arranging of traditional tunes before for theatre plays and things like that. And so eventually I got the job.
All these tunes, they're all written in Hampshire?
They're all traditional folk song tunes or folk dance tunes, collected in Hampshire around the turn of the century.
How did you find these tunes?
Well, there's a big library in London, a big folk music library in Cecil Sharp House, which is the HQ of a body called the English Folk Dance and Song Society. And you can find everything you need to know, anything about English folk music, singing and dancing. It's all in this one library.
Can you get from every county?
Yes, they got something from any area of the country, yes, you want. And so there are quite a lot of collectors working in Hampshire. About 100 years ago, there was quite a big upsurge in interest in traditional folk music, and song and dance and whatnot. And so all these tunes I picked out from these collections, like this first one here, 1909. So around the first 10 years of the century, most of these tunes were collected, mostly by sort of vicars and things, who had nothing better to do during the week.
Now, having listened to them, they seem to suit the tapestries so well, because the tapestries are absolutely beautiful.
They're stunning, aren't they? Yeah, I was anxious to try and sort of get the mood. You get such they're so full of life and colour. I was trying to pile it all in with the music.
So you obviously had to arrange everything. You got the song in music form.
Yeah, just the melodies, and then I worked on the arrangements. And I was told the size of the ensemble I could work with, which was my wife Sue, who plays the oboe and dulcimer, and myself, who used to be a regular sort of folk music duo. I play accordion and concertina. And then 4 members of the Bournemouth Sinfonietta who were playing flute, violin, bassoon and double bass, which is a rather strange combination, isn't it?
It is very strange. Where did you record these?
Well, we didn't make an official recording. We just did 3 performances of the music. First one in the council offices in Andover, and then the next day in the theatre here at Cricklade Theatre, is it called? Yes. And then a week later in Romsey, just to the south, the southern end of the district for the council.
You've got a lot.
And the music we're using in the programme was just a live recording of those concerts.
Oh, right, so you didn't actually go to the recording studio?
No, we haven't recorded them sort of properly, as it were.
You've done a lot of touring, extensive touring. You can name some of the people that you played with.
Okay.
I know you were with Steel Ice Band.
I was with Steel Ice Band for a short while, yes.
Yeah.
I'd done some folk rock things like that. I was with the Albion Band for a while.
Yeah.
And with Richard Thompson, I played a lot with Richard Thompson, who was an original member of Fairport Convention, and then he's been on his own for a long time. So when he tours with the band, I quite often play with him.
Yeah.
And then in the folk world, I played a lot with Martin Carthy, who's a well-known guitarist and singer. We had a band together called Brass Monkey for a while. And at the moment, I'm touring with a singer called Roy Bailey, who tends to do more sort of political kind of songs, and I accompany him on the squeeze box.
That's who you're playing with tonight?
Yes, well, last night I was in Ringwood, the folk club in Ringwood, the Crown in Ringwood, and we're on our way up to Lincolnshire now this evening. Let's all go.
So you work a lot, and you do a lot of gigs?
I'm doing gigs in folk clubs or folk festivals or art centres, and occasionally with a pickup band, in bigger venues.
Are you doing any recording these days?
I mean, before the end of the year, I'll be doing a solo album. It's a few years since I've done one myself. I do a certain amount of session work as well, so I've played on other people's records.
Yeah.
But, I'll be doing one myself fairly soon. But it's of the sort of folk club repertoire that I do.
Yeah. Well, what we will be doing is filming some of the villages where the tapestry was done and playing some of John's music, so you get a chance to hear it all. And hopefully, they may be on sale at some stage, and you'll be able to buy the cassette, because it's excellent stuff. John, thanks very much for coming down today.
Thank you.
And we'll send you a cup and tea.
Great.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, and I'll lead you all.
We're in Weyhill this week. Apparently we're going to be covering some of the local businesses, but on the theme of the tapestry. Weyhill years and years ago, probably about just over 300 years ago, was the site of probably one of the largest fairs in Europe. Probably in comparison of, say, the Reading Rock Festival and probably Blackbush Market in sort of like combined. But today we're at the Weyhill Fair, which is a pub that's celebrating its 10th anniversary of actually being in existence, and by which they've reduced their beer prices down to 1983 prices, and they're going to have a beer festival. They've got tents, they've got folk music. We're going to have a wander around and have a look, and I think Original Gravity, Dave and Phil from Original Gravity. It's cold here today. I'll tell you what, you lot are all sat indoors, just put your clocks back nice and warm. It's freezing out here. We'll see you in a minute.
And I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something. Change your mind and find your hand. Have you seen the old man outside?
It's a bit noisy in here, isn't it? It's warmer in here, though.
Memories fade to the very ribbons that he wears in our winter city. Little one more of the garden and the world that doesn't. Come and say it. How can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that your sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand.
Well. All these people. Dougal's back, no clothes on. What can you say? All these people here, come out here. I reckon it's nothing to do with the fact that it's a beer festival. I've got a feeling it's something to do with it's cheap beer. So there's a lot of people. Well, Noel Connolly's out here. He was out. You saw him last week on the was it Bulford, wasn't it? Bulford, the old grey whistle test. Yeah, I think that's something to do with the sort of colour of his hair or the lack of it. But there you go. But you've seen the Original Gravity, Phil and Dave. I think we took the rise out of them a little bit before, didn't we? But they're all right, they're nice blokes, and I can't really talk shit at the moment because there's all this noise going on. We're going to go. Turn around and have a look at them.
When heaven and I danced on the earth, at Bethlehem I had my birth. Sing! Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dancing, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dancing. I danced for the scribes and the Pharisees, but they wouldn't dance, they wouldn't follow me. I danced for the fishermen, for James and John, they danced with me, and the dance goes on. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dancing, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dancing. I danced on a Friday when the sky turned black.
With Dave Mills.
What?
The old mate. Got the same problem as I have. No hair. Dave, do you do many beer festivals now?
This is 5th, 6th this year. We do.
Yeah, that's 6, yeah.
Portsmouth, Salisbury, Eastleigh, Basingstoke. One more to come.
Where's that?
Overton next Saturday.
Next Saturday, which will be the
Village Hall in
30th.
Overton. St Luke's Hall.
Which is going to be after this one goes out. So, this is before this one goes out. So we're not going to get that one. You're going to miss that one. It's a bit like time off, really. But there you go. And this is
They're
Phil.
they're great fun, the beer festivals, though. They really are good fun, yeah.
You get a lot of people in it, drunk.
Well, yes, I think once you've got a crowd that's got a few beers inside them, then, you're on to a winner. But, no, we enjoy it. We play for fun. That's what it's all about.
That's it. I mean, contrary to popular belief, a lot of people have turned around and sort of stopped me in the street and said, every time I see you on that town TV, you're always in a bloody pub. Well, here you go. I'm in a tent this time. I'm not in a pub. I'm in the tent. The fact that there's beer being served has got nothing to do with it. Anyway, thanks for talking to us, Phil.
Nice to see you.
Spiritual gravity. Take him out later, mate.
Steal away, let's steal away. No reason left to stay. For me and you, let's start.
While we've listened to the original Gravity, one of the other things that we've got out here today, by the looks of it, is all sorts of merchandise. If we can grab a look at that. Merchandise. What merchandise have we got? Cakes. Want to buy a cake? Don't drop it on the cake, Steve.
You could do it with a pullover, it's pretty cold.
It's cold, it's freezing. I'll tell you what, anybody who's sat at home now in front of a log fire, you're quite welcome to it. It's cold out here.
A funny song now for the
10
kids.
years of the Weyhill Fair.
10 years of the Weyhill Fair. Look at that t-shirt. Steve, look at that t-shirt. 10 years of the Weyhill Fair.
And a cake.
And a cake. Is that raffled?
This is
Is that being raffled? No, it's going to be cut up later on and devoured by those drunken people.
all those things that.
This is what's your name? Gary. This is Gary. He's working behind the bar. Obviously, it's
Right, it's Kerry.
Sorry, let's start again. This is Kerry. He's obviously working behind the bar today. Busy?
That's been quite steady, you know. Last night was very busy, but as soon as the band get warmed up, it should be quite good.
So they're on all day.
Well, they should be on until closing time anyway. If we start drinking these beers, they can be well away anyway.
So tell me a bit about Real Ales and that. It's sort of like obviously the campaign for Real Ales and how long's that been going?
Well, actually, I talked to a lady just now, but I don't know anything about them. You see, I got told to come down here and work, so I'm working. So
this man knows absolutely nothing about Real Ales.
This is the first time I've ever seen any one of these before, and it's amazing. The only one I've ever seen before is at Landlord's, but.
So you're not selling none of the blunderbuss or the biker's tooth or the old grumble belly. But it's very cold. It's very, very cold here today.
Steal away, let's steal away. No reason left to stay. For me and you, let's start anew. And darling, steal away.
Looking for that special job? C&M Employment Services provide a complete, permanent and temporary recruiting service. Our rates are reasonable and we offer a professional and personal approach. Ring us on Andover 351 851 for further details.
Well, I'm off to America tomorrow, and I should be going to the UN and possibly doing some filming that we can use on Andover Town TV. There's going to be some interesting people speaking. Colin Andrews will be speaking, and also the Hopi Indian chief, who for 6,000 years the Hopi Indians have been handed down information chief to chief for that amount of time, and he believes it's the right time to talk to the United Nations. So I hope to be coming back with that and a little more information on the 22nd, 23rd of July in 1994, that's next year. 5 asteroids are going to collide with Jupiter. You will be able to see Jupiter day and night. It will look something like a moon of full brightness. It could also have something to do with moving the magnetic fields of not only Jupiter, but every planet in our solar system. I will be out at the UN trying to gather the information about this phenomena. It could be very important to all of us. I'll see you soon.
Well, it's Stan Bacon of Stan's TV and Video, and everybody knows Stan's name around Andover for his constant advertising and the advertiser. Stan, tell me how long you've been going?
About 8 years, I suppose, something like that.
About 8 years. And where did you start? What you were doing in business before then?
I was running a computer company in London.
Yeah.
And I got fed up driving from Andover to London, like a lot of people do. So I set up a TV repair business in the kitchen at home.
Yeah. So what brought you to Weyhill?
Opportunity, really. The place came on the market at the right time. We had a lot of customers that, well, to be honest, my wife had just about had enough of what was in the kitchen. You know, piles of TV up, by the toaster and things like that. It's just getting too much. So we needed premises, and this was ideal for us.
So what came first? You opened in Andover as well. Was this first?
This was the first, yeah. Weyhill was quite a long time before Andover, by about 5 years.
Well, it's getting a bit noisy here on the Weyhill Road, as you can see, and here. But what we're going to do now is go inside with Stan and see some of the repairs and all the different sorts of TV sets he does repair. So we're just going to go and do that. So we'll see you in a minute.
This is where it all works. This is Chaz. He's our
Hello, Chaz.
Main engineer and the guy who runs the shop for me.
Well, it's a bit technical in here for me. I'm just used to being on this side of the camera, or the other side of the camera, but not behind the set. So.
That's right. We've got a vast range of sets that we repair, so Chaz has to cope with just about anything that somebody brings in, from TV, video, hi-fi. We see little transistor radios, which you don't really want to see because they're too cheap, and you might as well buy a new one. But that sort of thing turns up.
What's the most common repair these days with a TV set?
Well, unfortunately, what's happened because of new technology and the way that TVs are now mostly integrated circuits and chips all over the place, they don't get a common fault.
They're all different ones. Same with the videos. It depends what comes in.
Really?
A lot of them have got service kits now, which are standard format after a while to be fitted. And it's just wear and tear. Or customers' problems where children have pushed things in the front of videos and things.
Yeah. But really repair anything, I guess. I mean, any make?
Anything.
Any make,
Yeah, as long as we can get the parts which are normally readily available, then we should be able to do anything.
So how about Japanese technology? I guess this is the way everything's going at the moment. I know it's in broadcast side. Is it leaving the rest of the world behind, do you think?
No.
It's not. I mean, most companies, the systems, they don't vary from one particular make being better than others.
Yeah.
They
We
all
look
seem
at
to be
old
the
stuff
same.
here, really, don't we?
Yeah.
It's, the worst problems we get in here are from equipment that was bought cheaply in the first place.
Yeah.
Some of the manufacturers which make some of the cheaper stuff and is available in the multiple stores.
Yeah.
So if you go and buy a TV, for instance, for 150 quid, a portable TV, or 140 pounds, or special offer 130 pounds this week, you can bet your life that half of it's missing before you bought it.
Right.
And then we've got the problem, say 14 months later, you've got no guarantee left, so you have to pay for it to be repaired, and you find the spares are expensive because they make the TV with all its bits, and to actually manufacture a spare bit with no TV to go with it is quite expensive.
Yeah. What's the problem with this TV here we're looking at?
Oh, this one's got a power failure in the power supply.
Oh,
It's
is
got
that quite a regular fault? Or?
It's one that's it's a little bit different. This fault.
Yeah.
It's taking a little while to sort it out, but we'll get there.
Really?
Yeah.
We've got what we've got to do with this sort of thing, very sorry, Chaz, is basically we've got a map of the set there,
right?
And we know that this part is the first bit we've got to get working.
Yeah.
And that part's not working.
Right.
We know that.
Right.
And over here we've got behind Chaz is his scope.
Right.
And the wavy line you see on there, or a wavy line that appears on there, will tell us what's happening to that circuitry.
Oh, I see. Right.
So we need a map first of all. That's our map. And that's a diagnostic tool. You know.
So all different suppliers supply you with different
maps, and
without the maps you can't really do a lot.
Really,
That's
and we've
basic
got books as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
Some of the obscure makes. There are publishers that publish books to tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
Because without this, nobody would be able to get anywhere. So.
Do you still do any old black and white TVs?
We still see them. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. We've had quite an interesting request in the Andover shop where we sell new sets. We've had a chap in recently who wanted to buy a black and white TV.
Really?
New. And of course you can't do that. And his reasons were twofold. He didn't want to pay the TV licence.
Right.
I suppose you'll say anybody who hasn't done that could be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
And secondly, the chap was a painter and he does pastel colours. And he said when he watches TV, the bright colours from a colour TV distort his mind's view of the picture.
Yeah.
So we checked with the Home Office and said, can we convert a colour TV to black and white for him? And they said yes, and he only has to buy a black and white licence. If we take the crystal out, they were quite. It's quite interesting. They said, "Oh, decrystallate, you mean?"
So what was that saving him then? It's quite a bit, I suppose.
Oh dear, you've got me now.
Yeah, I know, but it's quite a considerable saving.
Yeah,
it must be because of
for a black and white licence.
as opposed to the what is it, 80 for
87.
yeah.
Anyway, who's this
That's our guard dog.
This is the guard dog.
It's Lady, that is. Yeah.
What's the name?
Lady.
Lady. Oh, it's gone all shy. Gone camera shy. So, for all those viewers watching this, if they want to get their TV repaired, or if they're looking at you, Stan, you don't look quite right, the colour's wrong, they better ring you up and find out why.
Yes, I don't know what to say to that, actually.
I can assure you Stan's colour's all right, but any problems, give Stan, which has a buzz on.
Yeah, come down and see me down here.
At Weyhill.
Give us a ring on 772201.
Fantastic. Well, it's nice that you're still keeping a business in Weyhill, because there's so many village businesses moved out of villages. And it's really worthwhile thing. It's fantastic. But I mean, the actual shop here is keeping really busy as opposed to the one in Andover.
You can see it's very, very busy indeed. Yeah. Both our shops are doing very well. This one is particularly busy, and it's the probably, well, I've got to say it's the best workshop in Andover. It's almost certainly the biggest, even though it's small. It's still, and the equipment we've got, the manufacturers that we cover, and the people that have authorised us to handle their repairs.
Press officer, Toyota. How's the motor show been for you so far? First day?
It's been very good indeed.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of interest in the new models, one of which is the car you see here.
Yeah.
A great deal of interest in the new Lexus, and we've several other changes too.
Right, fantastic. You're telling me the MR2 is the oldest model that you've got going now?
Just about is, yes. Amazingly enough, we've changed nearly everything in the range over the last 18 months.
Right.
And believe it or not, the MR2 is the oldest model, although it wouldn't look it, would it?
That's amazing that you've done. Tell me about the new Toyota 4Runner.
The 4Runner is a brand new four-wheel drive vehicle. Goes on sale today, and it's available with two engines. So you've got a choice of either a 3-litre turbo diesel or a 3-litre V6 petrol. Both have got plenty of power.
That's pretty quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. The diesel has more torque, so if you're going to do a lot of towing or a lot of serious off-road work, you'd probably go for the diesel.
Yeah. That's amazing. Do you think the British public are ready for this sort of thing?
They certainly are, because the sector which looks after four-wheel drive off-road vehicles is actually growing. It's the fastest growing sector in the British market. So there's no question that there's room for this vehicle, and I think it'll be extremely popular. It fits in neatly in our range between our other four-wheel drive vehicles in both price and size. And as you can see, I think it's as fashionable as it is effective. And if you look at the specification of the vehicle and its power output and its performance, it stacks up very, very well against the competition.
Tell me something about the new GS300 Lexus.
The Lexus is a different thing altogether. The Lexus is a luxury car, competing with the BMW 5 Series, the Mercedes 320 and the Jaguar XJ6. It's £32,000 worth, stacked with just about every possible item you'd ever need. CD player, automatic air conditioning, cruise control, you name it, it's got it. It's been styled in Italy by Giugiaro, so it has a very European look to it. It goes well with 209 brake horsepower and handles well too. Well, Lexus was a new make which is produced by Toyota. It started only in mid-1990, so in 3 years it's achieved a great deal and become very well accepted.
You said it had a big launch last night for it?
In dealerships, yes, around the country. There are 65 dealerships. It was extremely well received by the public last night, and it was interesting to see what people had driven to the dealerships. Most of them were in Jaguars and Mercedes, and they're the people we're aiming at.
Okay, well, that speaks for itself. All right, we'll have a very good motor show. we may see you again during the course of the next 10 days or so.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. So, Jem, what have we got here?
This is the Mini Marcos. This was designed in 1965, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And in fact, it ran at Le Mans in '66, and it was the only British car to finish. This is an example of the ones that we now still make, and most of which are shipped to Japan.
I wonder why the Japanese like them.
They're mini mad over there. Austin Rovers sell 6,000-7,000 minis a year to Japan, almost more than half their total production.
You know. Who designed it? Did you design it?
Yes, I actually did this, yes.
Yeah. So the Marcos story goes back a long way, doesn't it, really?
It goes back to, basically, the Marcos story started in 1959.
Yeah.
This car here is a Marcos Mantis. There are only 31 of these made, all right? And they were actually made in 1969 and 1970, and it was a 2+2.
It's an incredible design for 1969. It must have...
Yeah, it was amazing. When Colin Chapman saw this on the stand at Earl's Court in 1969, he was amazed because his Lotus Eclat, which came out a couple of years later, it was the same idea. It's a wedge shape to give you high speed, etc. This car is a car that was built specially for Jackie Stewart in 1959-1960. It was built in Dolgelly in North Wales. It was taken down to Luton and finished off, and then I actually drove it to Glasgow on the road to deliver it to Jackie Stewart's sponsor at the time, a man called Barry Filer, who was a director of Courtaulds.
And where's it raced?
This car was raced by him in various races in 60-61. And I acquired it. I found it in London in 1964 under a tarpaulin, restored it in 1977, and have been racing it ever since. It has raced all over the continent and this country, and it has won 3 historic championships outright.
So what's the sort of speed on this one?
Well, this one, it does about 130 down the straight. It's only got a 1300 Ford engine in, and you can imagine it's very great fun to drive, but it's very, very light, of course. It only weighs 450 kilos. Wow. Now this engine is a pushrod Ford engine, fitted with steel crank, steel rods, a Cosworth camshaft, twin Weber carburetors, and gives 124 horsepower at the flywheel, which is quite good for a 1300cc engine of a 1962 vintage. It's fitted with twin brake master cylinders with a balance bar, which of course is a modern addition, and of course it has modern tyres on of a newer tread pattern that was originally used. It has a wooden chassis and a wooden body here, as you can see the grain in the wood. The doors are actually fiberglass here, but all this is wood. The main chassis is wood all round here, right down around the back here.
Hope it doesn't get woodworm. Anyway.
Wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, and I'll lead you all. Wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance.
We've moved into the second tent. You've got 2 tents here. We're with
yeah.
Dave Raynor, who's the landlord.
Correct,
Dave's
yeah.
landlord, who's actually running the show today. Dave, tell me, it's the 10th anniversary that you've got with the Weyhill Fair now. Have you actually been with the place for 10 years?
We opened it 10 years ago today, October 24th.
So it's picked up steadily over the 10 years?
Yeah, it's been a good 10 years. Yeah, we kept on rolling.
You've sort of kept up quite well in the recession as well.
Yeah, we've been very lucky. We've got some good loyal customers out there, and they're enjoying themselves today, and it's our little thank you really to all these people that have supported us for the whole of the 10 years, some of them.
Okay, so as we've said earlier in the piece today, that you've reduced the prices down to 1983
We had,
prices.
with the support of some local breweries, we've been able to reduce the prices on a limited amount of beer to what they were when we opened 10 years ago, which is 70 pence a pint for a best bidder. It's virtually double that now.
Because we went down to the Hampshire Brewery last week, or was it last week, no, a couple of weeks back, and we spoke to them down there about the different ales that they serve. Do you carry any of their?
Yeah, we've been selling their beers this weekend. Unfortunately, it's virtually all gone now. But,
So it sells well?
It sells well, yeah. Oh, yes.
So the campaign for Real Ale, that's been going for like 20 years, I'm told?
Yeah, we actually hosted Cameron's 21st birthday party last year. I myself have been a member since 1973. They're a great bunch, and I think what I said last night to them was absolutely true, that it was their inspiration, their encouragement that got us going in the first place, and it's their support that's kept us going throughout the 10 years.
Because it seems sort of like it's only recently, or it appears to be, from my own personal point of view, that the Real Ale campaign's only really come to the forefront of publicans.
It's been a long struggle. It's been a very hard struggle. We've always sold Real Ale, we've always sold a range, but it's great now that practically every pub you go into, certainly in this area, you can find a good selection of good quality beers. Jen's busy cooking. She's she's the other half of the business, very much so, and the food here, we hope has got a good reputation, and if it has, it's down to her totally, but she's very busy at the moment.
Well, anyway, like I say, Dave, thanks for your time. The next 10 years are as profitable.
Steal away.
Here we are, we're back here again, back in behind the bar again. Tell me, what's your name?
My name is Anne.
This is Anne, and she's working behind the bar, working like a little Trojan, taking food orders. Yeah, fair play to that, mate. Busy, obviously very busy. I think we're going to talk to some of the locals here. We'll talk to some of the locals.
Something like that, yeah.
This is the locals' corner by the looks of it over here. So, do you come out here very much?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday. This man is every Sunday.
Religious.
And they're here every Sunday. This way.
We're all Sunday regulars as well. And Saturdays.
By the looks of it. Everybody comes in here on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and again on a Saturday, if they've got enough money left. So what do you think of the beer in here?
Brilliant.
All Real Ale drinks?
Yeah.
First class.
Yeah, absolutely marvellous.
Anyway, thanks for your time. We'll see you again. Well, see you on Sound TV probably. Oh, it's a bit crowded in there. There's too many people. You can't get served. It's very cold. I'm going to beat a hasty retreat back to Andover. I'm going to try and thumb myself a lift. But if you're ever stuck at a loose end or you feel like coming out for a nice drink, do come out to Weyhill Fair. Dave Raynor and his wife, wonderful people, very friendly couple. Come out and see them, they're very nice. But we'll see you in a minute. I'm going to go and thumb myself a lift.
They cut me down and I leapt up high. I am the light that will never, never die. I live in you if you live in me, for I am the Lord of the dance, said he. Say, dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he.
For the next 6 hours, aren't I? Right? Nobody's going to stop. They're all going to go that way, and none's going to go that way. We're going to be stuck here all week. But anyway, we'll see you next week.
The Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he.
Visit Andover Leisure Centre for the biggest and best name in fun and fitness. Superb facilities, friendly atmosphere, qualified staff, and prices that everyone can afford. Something for every age and all tastes, from the under 5s to the over 50s. Call in and see us today, or ring for an information pack. A full guide to the best in sport, exercise and leisure.
Shopping was closer to you, the Chantry Centre. Stores full of gifts and good things, Christmas lights, a festive atmosphere, warm and comfortable surroundings, and of course, Father Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas shopping this year at the Chantry Centre. The Chantry Centre, everything you need for Christmas in the centre of Andover.
Feeling great, it's the Chantry Centre. Looking good, it's the Chantry Centre.
Over the next few weeks, or the build up to Christmas, we're going to be telling you a few things about different places where you can go, different places where you can. It's just clever, isn't it? Booking your Christmas parties for your works dues or your birthday parties or whatever. But we're going to do a bit about that, take you around some of the local areas, and give you some ideas of what you can do over Christmas.
The CN Tower was built as a telecommunications center, but is known much more these days as a major tourist attraction. So I thought, why not? Let's go for a ride.
So how long does it take to get to the top then?
It takes 58 seconds when we're on fast speed, and sometimes with wind velocity it takes 4 minutes, but generally it's 58 seconds, bottom to top.
And you can feel the wind?
Well, you can't feel the wind because we're enclosed here, but if you're on the top levels and the gusting is 120 miles per hour, you can feel a slight sway, but nothing dramatic.
Now that is an impressive sight down there. You can overlooking the Sky Dome.
Yeah.
So they're getting ready for the big game this afternoon.
Big game today. Of course, we all want Blue Jays to win because if they win today, that's it.
Absolutely, yeah.
2:35 today. Great sight. Great sight to watch.
Absolutely brilliant.
In the shadow of the CN Tower is another newly constructed Toronto landmark, the Sky Dome. Everything in this city is big, including the local baseball team, the Toronto Blue Jays, who have their home here. But baseball in Canada? It was the morning of an important match for the club, and the Jays president took time off to speak to me.
Toronto is a great sports city, and they come out, they cheer them, whether it be hockey, football, baseball, whatever it might be. But specifically right now in this pennant race, because baseball is different than most every other sport. You play 162 games in 179 days. When you get into a pennant race like we are right now, you play Friday night, you play Saturday afternoon like we are today. It's perfect. You can't beat it. It's, you know, it's addictive. You can get your fix just on baseball.
A lot of people think in terms of Canada as a great ice hockey nation. That's the national sport. So what is baseball doing being played in this country?
Well, baseball has always been a good baseball country. It's been a very good baseball city. Baseball goes back into the early, late 1800s, early 1900s, and it's gone right through where we are right now. It's got a Major League franchise in Montreal, Major League franchise here in Toronto. Montreal contended in the late 70s, early 80s. We're contending right now, and it's been very, very exciting. It is still a hockey nation, but it's also a baseball nation.
Sure. Now, you're getting great crowds here since you've moved into the Sky Dome. A lot of world's attention is focused on this particular stadium. I mean, have the players kind of risen to the challenge? Because your fortunes really changed at about the time you moved here.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I think that the stadium itself has given them a great impetus to go on. It's a great facility. More importantly, it's a great facility when it's full, and it's been full right from the very beginning, so we've been very, very fortunate with our fans.
Go on, Jensen, wave your arm, show them your jacket. The stadium was a sellout for this game. I wondered if I could get a ticket off the manager. Perhaps I should ask him a few questions first.
When someone comes over here and sees the amenities you have, it's fantastic. You've got restaurants and bars, and it's a real kind of family occasion, isn't it, here?
Yeah, our architect, who, by the way, was British, had never been to a baseball game, yet he designed the stadium. But what he did visit some of the better stadiums in North America, and took the best elements from those and injected them into Sky Dome. So we have sort of the latest in everything in technology here.
Sure. What was his name?
Robbie.
And he designed the retractable roof as well, then?
Right.
Now, that's what it's most famous for, I guess, this fact that you can slide the roof, you know, what is it, in 20 minutes or something?
20 minutes, the roof opens and closes. Twice, actually, we've closed in the middle of a ball game where it started to rain, and the game just keeps right on going. It's quiet, and people don't mind at all.
Sure. And there's good seating all around the stadium. I mean, you can have a pretty good vantage point from wherever you seem to be in.
Right. The upper circle seats are 37 degrees, the angle. It's a bit difficult getting up to your seat, but once you're in your seat, the sight lines are perfect.
David, we're looking for something that's particularly Canadian about the stadium. I mean, we're here in a search for the real Canada. Have we found the real Canada here at this stadium?
Yeah, other than the artificial turf, which came from Georgia, and the scoreboard, which came from Japan, although it was assembled here, you're looking at all Canadian ingenuity in this project that we're all very proud of. Same with the CN Tower next door, tallest building in the world, beside the most unique building in the world.
Of all the features this has to offer, including the world's largest McDonald's, what are you proudest of? What are the things that you like to boast about?
Oh, I have to go back to the roof. To watch that roof open and close, and the weight of it weighs something like 3,847 automobiles. I think the roof is the magic of this building.
Enough of these king-size buildings. I've got a king-size appetite, and who am I to pass up a genuine hot dog at a baseball game?
All right, here comes some mustard. No thanks, buddy. At this point, I've had my fill of baseball food. It was now time to go and collect my complimentary pass. And I just made it for the national anthem. Today, the Toronto Blue Jays are playing their feathered rivals from Baltimore, the Orioles, and the crowd had come out in their thousands. My pass had got me into a very privileged area, a VIP box, and I found myself talking to the president of Ford Canada. Perhaps he could put me on the right road to fame and riches. I was just settling down to enjoy the action when along came a guy dressed in a Blue Jays tracksuit. Everybody seemed to know him, and it turned out to be the mayor of Toronto.
Baseball actually is a long part of the tradition in this country, going back prior to the American cultural invasion of the post-war years. It's over 100 years that we've had it in our country, but it is mainly associated with the United States. However, I think it's a fair exchange, a quid pro quo with hockey. All the hockey players that go south of the border to play are all from Canada. All the baseball players are American.
What's so special about Toronto? Why do so many people want to come and work here?
Well, Toronto is a very cosmopolitan city. People have come here from all over the world to make a new home of it. They've added a new, rich, exciting kind of atmosphere to the city. You see it here today in this ballpark, which is one of the newest assets in the city's infrastructure. And people enjoy it immensely. People enjoy the city.
Right, we've got Chris Pasker. You're the owner of, with your husband, of Philway Nursery. Chris, tell me, how are things going here? It's a newly started venture for you. How long have you been here?
We've lived here 6.5 years, and this is our 4th year open to the public, and each year it gets better and get bigger each year. We're never going to be a garden centre, we'll always stay a nursery because we rear all the stuff ourselves.
Yeah.
So it will still stay quite small.
Right. Yeah, you've got some lovely stuff here. So now autumn's coming on. It's a bit cold today. What can you tell the viewers? What should they be really doing for autumn? We've got polyanthus behind us.
Yes, we've got polyanthus and pansies. We've got all the spring bulbs in.
Yeah.
So, and you can make up the hanging baskets.
That's right.
So there's quite a bit you can actually do.
Yeah.
And Sweet Williams and Mysotis and Bellis.
Yeah.
So there is quite a lot that you can actually do to make it look nice.
Right. I suppose stuff in the greenhouse now is going off a bit.
That's right. Yeah. Things are dying down in the for the winter, and then we'll bring them back in the spring.
So what should people be doing in their gardens now? Giving it a good old.
Well, just giving it a nice dig over and mulching it over anything they need to save for the spring, and then planting up with all their winter bedding.
Right, right.
So
what are the sort of stuff behind us you're saying?
these are all various polyanthus, and we've got hybrid pansies. So you can actually do your own colour scheme with them, which works out quite nicely.
So these are winter plants. You can actually put these in for the winter, is that
Yes,
right?
these are winter. Yes,
Yeah.
they're all frost hardy, so they'll survive over the winter.
Yeah,
And quite often go on into the spring.
Really, yeah.
And on into the summer
Right.
if you want to keep them.
Yeah, I think mine have come around and gone again this year. So
Yeah, they are very
doing
good.
Doing quite well.
Yeah.
So what else do you do here? I mean, it's a lovely spot out here at Weyhill. I see you've got some stables there. Do you have horses?
Yes, and I breed horses.
You breed horses as well?
Yes.
And
yes.
Are there any there at the moment, are there?
No, they're all up in the top paddock at
Up
the
in the
moment.
top paddock,
yeah,
okay. So what sort of horses do you breed?
Well, I've got thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
I've got an ex-racehorse in at the moment. He's
Have you?
come in as a livery.
So what's his name?
Mr. Mystical.
Mr. Mystical. He's
Hello.
lovely, isn't he? Hello.
He's not his only baby. He's rising 3.
Oh, right.
Kisses.
Has this always been your business?
Since I was 13.
Really? Yeah.
Wastes too much time, my husband said. But
Really? Oh, you love it, don't you? Especially.
Joey's good. Joey's good.
So when the parents come up to buy their plants, I suppose all the children come rushing in here to have a look at see the horses, yeah.
See all the other animals as well.
Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Anyway, what we're going to be doing in the weeks to come is having a look at the gardens locally, and perhaps you can give us some advice, and
Yes,
your
yeah,
husband,
yeah.
and tell us what we should be doing, what we should be planting, what
That's
we
right.
shouldn't be doing, and we'll see how it all goes. So look forward to seeing you again soon.
Lovely.
Supposed to happen up on these stairs here.
You said also that the dog seems to sense.
The dog seems to sense that our kitchen is over the other side here, and he stands up at the kitchen wall as he's barking over to this side over here. So
he senses something.
He senses something, and it is all supposed to be happening round about here. Now, obviously, it has been modernised, but it all happens here.
There was an old room over the coach, over the actual room. Can you get into that room?
I can't get into that piece no more.
Oh,
you know,
shame.
that has all been sealed up. But Elizabeth Atkins used to live up in this place here.
Oh, right.
Actually, that was when it was old and tatty, a feather bed on the floor and things like that.
So
a
he
little
sleeps in here?
Actually, nobody at the moment.
Oh, right. Nobody will sleep in it, or?
Actually, nobody does sleep in it, put it that way. Yeah.
What has actually been seen?
Actually, while I was on holiday last year, the relief manageress actually saw a grey cloaked figure coming from actually the stairs down below, and unfortunately her husband wasn't around at the time, so she just ran out of the bar.
All right.
Actually, luckily it was after closing time and everybody had gone, so it was all right. And the customers who go to the toilet at the bottom of the stairs, sometimes as they're coming out, they feel the presence of somebody pushing past them, even though actually nobody's there.
Very interesting. Well, thanks very much, Pete, for showing us around.
That's okay, no problem.
We're going to look at a few more for Halloween, a few more haunted pubs, perhaps, or houses, or whatever. Right. So thank you very much
That's
indeed.
okay, no problem.
Lovely. Hey!
What?
Did you switch your light
I haven't turned the light off.
Oh, come on.
Is that Elizabeth again?
Oh, no.
Has somebody got a light around here somewhere? Right.
We'll only just make it down these stairs.
As I'm sure we'll get down there all right.
I'll tell you what, it's turned cold.
I wonder why.
What's happening? That's right. Can you see?
The window over here now.
Oh, yeah.
Right then.
What's the time?
I haven't got a watch.
You haven't got a watch. I haven't got a watch either. So we've been out and we've been up for about an hour now, haven't we?
A couple of hours, really.
A couple of hours. I'm losing track of time. I'm losing track of time.
So what we've actually decided to do, because Alan actually was the one who made us do this thing. It's his it's his fault that we're here.
It is definitely.
But he wanted to find out what would happen if we actually stayed here overnight. So that's exactly what we're doing. Because it's
scary.
It's one of those things. It's very very scary here.
It's a bit eerie. It's a little bit eerie. I mean, we had that strange experience on the stairs earlier.
Hang on. Hey, wake up! I think I hear something.
Where did you hear something?
I don't know. It was a ghostly noise.
What sort of ghostly noise?
I mean, it was even louder than your snoring.
Louder than my
But I bet it
snoring?
didn't come over on there.
Well, this is the direction of the microphone. Where was it? Let's see if we can try and pick it up.
It was over there.
How long have I been asleep?
There's a noise. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
This is terrible.
This was real. This was live. You saw it first on town television. Nobody has ever seen this before.
What can I say?
Except for other people.
Except for other people.
But we've never seen it before, and we're on the spot reporting this. So
We are definitely
on
green.
the spot. That was very green, yeah.
That was very green.
But it's gone. I think we should pack up our bags and go.
I think we should
I'm going to
leave.
go and turn the camera off.